Queridos amigos de la Galería Nocturna, queridos amigos de Goth, Prods, sean bienvenidos a un capítulo más. Hoy continuamos platicando con extraordinarias bandas y hoy nos vamos hasta Europa. Vamos a platicar con una banda de origen danés, una increíble banda de metal alternativo, algo de metalcore, con un montón de sonidos, con un montón de elementos ahí. Entonces, el blending de opciones, de voces, de sonidos, de elementos electrónicos, muy ambient también. Todo este tipo de cosas es lo que hacen a Cryosphere una gran opción, una gran banda. Algo que sabemos, el metalcore, este metal moderno, es lo que ha estado absorbiendo en los últimos años a la escena. Y aquí en la Galería Nocturna estamos como muy interesados en darle seguimiento a lo que sucede con las bandas que están consumiendo y que se están comiendo a la escena metalera, tanto en México como en Estados Unidos, como en Europa. Así que el día de hoy vamos a ir hasta Dinamarca a platicar con Cryosphere. Ellos son un dueto de metalcore, increíble propuesta. Así que esto es la Galería Nocturna. Este es el podcast en el que hablamos de metal en serio. Demos la bienvenida y platiquemos a Cryosphere. Guys, how are you guys doing?
Hi. We're great. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for your time and thank you for being here with us. If you don't mind, I did a quick introduction of the band or duet. Would you mind to introduce yourself and say what are you doing in the band and let's start the conversation and a quick recap of the history of this amazing project.
Okay, so my name is Siren, and I'm one half of the band or the duo Cryosphere. We used to be a full band with a lot of instruments, but we're not anymore. So now we're only him and me. And we both do vocals, and we do the music together, and we write the lyrics together. So it's only us. We do everything.
Yeah, and right. My name is Anders, and yeah, as Siren is telling you guys, we are a duo doing everything together. We mix a lot of stuff together with keys and orchestral elements, with the metalcore part where it's inspiration from every inch of that, or different genres that inspires us to do music, and yeah, that's about it.
Sounds good. I mean, I have listened to your music, the entire catalog that you have in platforms, and definitely all these elements. I mean, ambient elements, electronic, metalcore, clean vocals, growls and aggressive riffs are part of your formula. And let me tell you something about this. We really love this experimental, bands projects. We really love to hearing this kind of music. Let's start by we really like to go deeper and know the band. Would you mind to tell us something about the name of the project, what the project name is about?
So we like to tell stories. We have stuff to tell. One of those things is about our climate and how we as humans are destroying the world. We like to know things about what is happening around the world and give our take on whatever. So the name is, if you don't know, it's the name for all ice and snow and all the frost things on the earth. That's the cryosphere. Like you have the biosphere is all the living things. So the cryosphere is just because we want to make sure that this climate thing is actually known. Or Anders, do you have anything to?
Yeah, it's like we care about it, and we just also thought that the cryosphere just sounded cool, and we are like some frosty types. Like we like to do stuff that doesn't revolve around being in warm places and stuff. We actually like the winter a lot as well. So yeah, I think that was kinda it that just made it make sense in the end, right?
Also being from Denmark, it kind of makes sense because it's cold and snowy here.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that there are some bands in the scene which are talking about this environment stuff and this environment problem. So I think this is a really good approach and another point of view of what's going on our planet. That sounds fantastic. And would you mind to share more about what you guys listen to the most? I mean, what kind of music inspire you? What are the kind of music that you can say, hey, because I've listened to this, now I'm a musician and I'm doing this thing?
It's a really hard question for us to answer because we listen to almost anything in every genre. Like personally, for me, I am of that belief that I listen to good music and I don't care what it is. It could be, I'll just open my Spotify up here. It could be some Ice Nine Kills because I'm into horror movies. It could be a whole new sound Disney album with pop punk elements that is pretty cool. It could be, let's say, Slaughter to Prevail because I really like Alex a lot. Like, it could be everywhere. Like, I just like when music is good, and it could be covers of whatever Disney. It could be deathcore, it could be metalcore, everything. So, if I should say like one or two songs that I'm listening to on repeat right now, it would be the new song with Breaking Benjamin that just came out 5 years after not hearing anything from them, Awaken. That is pretty nice. And then I hear Heavy as the Crown by Linkin Park a lot right now because they are doing a resurgence as well now, and I've been a fan of those since I was a kid. That was one of the both of those bands were one of my two go-to band from the start, right? So a lot of stuff for me.
Yeah, it's actually the same, but even more wide maybe. I like also the symphonic stuff, like film music or operas, and normal pop music is fine. I'm like, if it has a story, if it tells something, or it wakes a feeling, then I'll be interested. It doesn't have to be metal, all of it, but of course there's a lot of metal, also like heavier stuff than we do. So it's really broad, and that's why our music incorporates so much and so many different things, because sometimes I have a period where I like to listen to one band or one song like on repeat, and then it kind of digs its way into my head, and then I do something or write something that maybe is a bit similar, but then we work together on it and it becomes something different. So it's really cool.
That's a really good approach, because my understanding for what you're saying is to just get inspired by any kind of music you like. It doesn't matter if it's metal, classic music, or whatever. And so this is something really nice. Sometimes people around is like really engaged with just one and only genre, and sometimes it's difficult to talk to that kind of guys because they're not that open to compose and to create music. So that's great. So let's jump into the Odyssey single that you just dropped to the platforms. Could you tell you more about how the story is about? I mean, Antaeus and Agliopé, how these things inspire you, and what you hope listeners will take away from it.
We can say like the video and the lyrical content has similar stories to tell, but are also a bit different because the video with Agliopé and Antaeus, which is also mentioned in the lyrical content, are more the pictures and the visual part of how we want to tell our greater story, right? So in the music video, we also try to incorporate the two points, but it's about the whole song is about relationships, and it could be whatever relationships you're in. It could be a love relationship, it could be work, it could be friends, whatever. And here we dive into some of the feelings that Sirene and I have had towards each other for a long period of time of work together, where we have had a lot of disagreement. We have gone through a lot of compromises that have been very good for us and changed us as humans and made us better in whatever way. Like some of it is that Sirene is probably better at pushing new stuff towards me, and I probably have a better sense of finding out what's going on right now and how is things shaping right now towards and having plans in the now, where Sirene is more future minded. Maybe sometimes that's mild roughly, right? But that's some of it. Like, we have had some disagreements here and there. That is the feelings that are portrayed in the song.
Yeah, so specifically, I think it was after one disagreement, I kind of had to write my feelings down. And the way I do that is I find some characters or something that I can relate to. And the story about Antaeus was really just spot on Anders's personality traits. Like, he's like the strong guy that's standing firm on the ground. As long as he touches the ground, no one can like beat him. And of course, the siren is like what I'm envisioning myself to be in this project. Some kind of lurer of men, but more like I try to put some new ideas or something into his head, and that's why I chose these two, and then we wrote the lyrics rather quickly, actually, because it's like when you write through a character or something, you can actually say things that you don't normally say or can say, because we're really good friends, but it doesn't feel right to say something like very directly, I don't like this and I don't like that. You always try to make it like nicer because you're friends. But when you do that through a character, you can say, oh, stop, you are doing this wrong and whatever. You can be like really mean. Yeah. So I think that's why I thought of that.
And I also think like that Sirene character is looking evil, but it's not like it's the entity is probably evil in the story, but it's the feelings that she's conveying there that is the important part, because it is the explorative, it's the new stuff, it's going out on untreaded waters and stuff like that. That is the visual that we want to aspire to, right? So yeah.
Sounds really good. I mean, looks like you guys have a very good connection when you're composing, and you're probably completing ideas to each other, and sounds like a really solid formula, and looks like the writing process is a very solid way to get this thing down. So I would like to ask about your vocal contrasts. It really sounds good. This is a kind of of style. I have listened to a lot of bands that are, you know, creating this new, this kind of formula with a duality, which have probably growled voice and clean vocals, but definitely this is something that I really like from you guys. So how do you both approach the vocal dynamics? Is it something that you plan before you go to a studio, or is this something that just came during the process of recording or something like that? How's that process?
It's probably both. It kind of depends if the song is something that's already written the lyrics to. We probably have an idea about who should do what. If it's the other way around, we have an idea with some music and then we put some vocals on it afterwards. It kind of depends on the feeling also of the music that we're trying to put something on, and also it kind of has the difference between our vocals is also something we want to convey. It's not only the lyrics that is important, if that makes sense. It's also, why am I screaming here? Or why is Anas rapping? Or why is he doing some clean stuff? So it's always about the story, thus. So, yeah.
And I think we when I joined, before it was called Cryosphere, when it was just a startup project, you also sought after someone who had a special type of like screamy, growly vocal, because you didn't want it too low, like too deathcore-ish, where it would only growl, but I had this scream where I had this mid-range stuff that wasn't too high, not too low, and it fitted perfectly to what we wanted to do, and also what I had to offer at that time. So that was probably it. And then we just knew from the start that the duality when singing together, that is what we have in our advantage, because that is what sounds pretty good. Like, not that we don't sound good together, but when we do sing together, it's just a little bit better than us being apart. So we tend to want to do that a lot, because we think it sounds good, and other people also thinks it sounds better. Yeah.
Okay, so that sounds good. Sounds, again, I think that this process of this combination of voices and elements are fantastic. So, in that order of ideas, my understanding is that you become into a duet. You come from a band, and then now you're a duet. How the process, this creative process, change, or probably anything change, but I would like to better understand, how do you get this writing process, creative process from a band? What's the difference with the process when you're a duet?
Yeah, it's a total new dynamic now, because before we tend to have the guitarist do riffs, and then we try to lay our vocals on it. And now with the latest two songs, we've tried to do something else, and that has been very fun to try. And I think it's also one thing we have missed a little bit. So not that it was wrong or anything, it was just how we did it back then, but it had been very nice trying to do something else right now. And I also think that being 2 instead of 6 gives us more freedom, because Sirene and I are maybe more aligned in our mind to what we want to try, and I'm probably open to more things, because we are, as we told before, inspired by so many other stuff that our previous band members probably weren't. So right now we can try a lot more, be a lot more like risk taking in some of our approaches to creating music. So I think it's nice in some way, but of course when you are 6 people, there's also 6 minds that can surprise in either way. So it's not like it's better or worse. It's just completely different. And since we haven't tried it that much, I think it's a very nice experience for us, at least.
Yeah, it's a different experience in that sense that before, most of the music was done by the instrumentalists. And that has kind of shifted over to us now because we decided that we did not want to pursue like a full band again, not at this point anyway. So the way that we're doing it is mainly because we like the story to be told, and we like the vocals to be not necessarily like in the center, but the music should kind of support the vocal or the story that has been told. And that's not what we did before, because people were, oh, I've got this cool riff and I like to use it here, and okay, so the vocalist would say, okay, what can I do on top of that? But now it's more like, okay, we have this really cool verse, how can we support this part in the best way? So that's probably the biggest difference.
Yeah, sounds like it is easier to put together this a song, an idea, or where's the future of the band. I mean, probably when you're in a band, like 4 or 5 guys in the band, probably, I mean, it could be easier in some aspects, you know, probably in this, when we are talking about funding the project, probably could be easier. But yeah, definitely when you're dealing with different minds and different objectives and goals and perspectives, probably at the moment when you are trying to put together a song or an idea or what are the next steps for the band, could be more difficult than 2 guys making all the decisions. So it's a good approach. I like it. Guys, I would like to ask you a couple of more questions more related. How's the scene, the metal scene in Denmark? How hard is to put together a project like you guys and take this project to to the next level, right? So how hard is the scene there? Promoters, venues, agencies, studios, rehearsal rooms, and all those things. How the things are there?
I'll say, if we start from the last thing you said there, rehearsal rooms, there's a lot of different stuff there, because I work at a school that has a rehearsal room where you can book it if you're in the county of the school that I'm in. We also have a rehearsal room in the same county, just another place. There's a lot of rehearsal rooms, so there's a lot of stuff, or a lot of places where you can gather if you want to. But the amount of people wanting to do projects is very limited, I think. There's a lot that wants to be good at instruments, but committing to a full project, that's pretty hard for a lot. So that also means that the bands, there's not that many of them, and the ones that are here are almost in the same genre, right? We have some metalcore stuff, and we have a lot of death metal. I think the most of it is death metal that is up there in Denmark. Otherwise, you will have some of the old school ones, like, let's say, DAD or Volbeat or something like that. Mm-hmm. But the scene here is a very, very small, to be honest. There's not that many places, bigger places that wants to do shows for metal stuff. There is, of course, some, but not too many. And the commitment issues from a lot of the community here is pretty big, I think. So it's hard to get a band going. And it's hard to, when you have the band going, keep the snowball rolling here, to be honest. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why most of the bands in Denmark, they seek to Europe, to Germany or Sweden UK, because the scene there is so much bigger, and there's much more diversity. In where we are, it has probably affected our decision to just stay two, that we could not find people that we could work together well and wanted to do the same stuff as us, because what we do is probably kind of niche, because we're so open, and most people in the metal scene are like, okay, this is the genre we're doing, and we don't want anything else like influencing that. And the thing also with having me, a lot of people still have issues with a female vocalist or a female musician. I don't know. It's just what it is. So it's not that easy now to be here in Denmark and doing what we do.
And about agencies, there's not too many. There's a bit of promoting, a bit of agencies, but there's not that many, to be honest, that will do it with, let's say, up-and-coming artists and stuff like that. It's more like the big labels that are here, but they are too conservative and don't want to risk any money, to be honest, because they're settled, so they don't have to risk anything, so they don't want to. So.
Gotcha. Sounds like, I mean, we asked this question because here in Mexico and Latin America has their issues, their problems. It's really something really difficult to get a project like this and keep it going. But definitely, every single country has their challenges, and we really love to know about how the things are going in other countries. So thank you for that answer. Thank you very much. So we're getting closer, and we're gonna close our conversation. I would like to know what are the near plans for the project. I mean, Cryosphere, what is Cryosphere doing during the next 3-6 months?
We are focusing on writing stuff and finishing our backlog, if you could say that. We don't have plans for live shows right now. It's a thing that we want to do, but we really want to get our material right, and we're kind of perfectionists, so it takes a while. Also, when you're only two people, you have like more workload, and if you want to do something in special way or in a particular way, and like we do, we want to have like a video that is so everything is wholesome, right? Like a package, and that takes time. So we're just working on our material and hopefully releasing some stuff soon.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry, Anders, you want to say something?
That was just it. Like we want to do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of ideas, and we want to produce that music before doing anything else. We want to be in the bubble of working.
Okay, sounds good. Guys, if you don't mind, please, we will stay tuned on what you guys are doing. Again, we really love your music. I really like this kind of mixing combinations of elements. I really love your music. So you're doing a very, very good and a great job, right, for this specific style. So I love it. Please let us know what you guys are doing. And again, I just wanted to say thank you for your time, for let us know more about you, what you're doing, your experience, your scene, how the things are going there in Denmark, your music and your writing process, and all those things that we just talked about. I really appreciate. Thank you very much for being in La Galería Nocturna.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us and taking your time and listening to our music. That's all we can ask for.
Thank you, guys. So see you soon. Thank you very much for being here. Bye.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Pues ahí lo tienen, esa fue la plática con Cryosphere. Es una excelente opción de metalcore, de este metal moderno que pues está consumiendo la escena. Vayan, escúchenlos, es una muy buena opción. Es ese tipo de metal moderno, es ese tipo de metal con dualidad, de voces agresivas, de voces limpias, con una estructura musical creo muy diferente. No es el típico estilo metalero old school, es totalmente todo lo contrario. Así que vayan, escuchen a Cryosphere, excelente banda de metalcore y un chingo más de elementos. Así que, como siempre, vámonos a la agenda metalera. Septic Flesh, el 8 de febrero, van a estar rockeando en el Pepsi Center. Soen, ellos van a estar, si no estoy mal, también el 8 de febrero en la Ciudad de México, rockeando el Foro Blackberry. Y con varias fechas más en el país también. Va a haber otras fechas con este espectáculo que van a hacer en la Ciudad de México. Este espectáculo con cuerdas. Vayan a ver el concierto de Atlantis. Si no lo han visto, vayan, véanlo. Está increíble, está grabado brutalmente. Las transiciones en el DVD, no sé si es DVD o Blu-ray, entre canción y canción, están espantosas. No sé por qué lo hicieron así, pero bueno, ahí va. Luego viene el festival Titans of Metal Fest. Este está así como que raro. Este nos genera cierta urticaria, nos da mucha desconfianza, pero bueno, vamos a ver cómo se venden los boletos y si todo sale bien, pues allá nos vemos, ¿no? El mero día compramos el boleto y allá nos vemos. A todos los tuleros, Tool, el 15 de marzo, también en la Explanada Azteca. Para todos los fans de la música rara de Tool, pues vayan y dense las 3 y nos cuentan cómo les va, claro. Estamos abiertos a escuchar cómo les fue. Heiken también en marzo, 27 de marzo, en el Foro Puebla. No me encanta el lugar, siento que es un lugar muy pequeño para Heiken, pero bueno. Y en septiembre viene Ghost. En septiembre viene Ghost. 2 fechas me parece. Creo que ya hicieron un sold out. Si no, pues ya tienen 2 fechas aquí que van a suceder en el Palacio de los Deportes. Así que para todos los ghosteros, a nosotros no nos gusta Ghost. Vayan y disfruten. Así que todavía estamos en decisión de si vamos a lograr estar en el Sonic Temple de este 2025. El Sonic Temple se viene brutal. Alice Cooper, Metallica va a cerrar 2 noches. Alice in Chains, Rob Zombie. La verdad es que ver a Alice in Chains y Metallica en el mismo escenario va a ser una locura. Así que esperamos poder estar por allá. Sin más, recuerden que tenemos la galería de bandas, son los playlists que tenemos en Spotify. Vayan, escuchen a todas las bandas de la escena emergente, tanto en Centroamérica, México, Sudamérica. Recién platicamos con Way to Stone, que fue una de las bandas que estuvo en el Most Horrible Night, una banda de San José, California. Tenemos ahí también a Atomic Rocket Seeders desde Luxemburgo. Seguramente va a estar Cryosphere también. Entonces, todas las bandas con las que hemos platicado de la escena nacional, pues también ahí están. Está Earth, está Nebulation, está Sacrilegion, está Sig Nebula, está Carnivorax. Están un montón de bandas que están aquí en la Ciudad de México, bueno, aquí en México. Medical Negligence también, y un montón de bandas que han estado por acá. Vayan, escuchen todas estas propuestas, son excelentes propuestas de metal macizo que se hace en México, en Centro y Sudamérica y en algunos países también de Europa y pues en Estados Unidos, ¿no? Eso es lo que tiene que ver con la galería de bandas. Y si tienen algún proyecto, si eres músico, si eres una banda, si eres tatuador, si eres artista visual o tienes algún tipo de proyecto que viva por y para la escena metalera, escríbenos a goth.prods@gmail.com o mándanos un mensaje directo a nuestros espacios digitales para agendar una charla y que puedan venir a promover sus proyectos aquí en la Galería Nocturna. Síganos, estamos en redes sociales, estamos en goth-prods para Instagram, estamos en goth-prods para YouTube, Facebook y TikTok, y estamos en goth-prods para cualquier plataforma en donde quiera que escuchen podcast. Ahí está la Galería Nocturna y está Metal Pulse. Sin más, muchísimas gracias por su atención. Nos vemos la siguiente. Bye bye.